Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, and Text 36. Saha Evam Swantaram Ninye Sa Evam Swantaram Ninye Yuganam Eka Saptatim Yuganam Eka Saptatim Vāsudeva Prasangena Vāsudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitrayaha Paribhuta Gatitrayaha Sa evam Swantaram Ninhe Yuganam Eka Saptatim Vāsudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitrayaha Sa evam Swantaram Ninhe Yuganam Eka Saptatim Vāsudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitrayaha. Saha he Svayambhuva Manu evam thus Swantaram his own period Ninye past Yuganam of the cycles of 4 ages Eka Saptatim 71 Vāsudeva with Vāsudeva Prasangena by topics connected Paribhuta transcended Gatitrayaha the 3 destinations. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. He passed his time which lasted 71 cycles of the 4 ages 71 into 43 lakh 20,000 years, always thinking of Vāsudeva and always engaged in matters regarding Vāsudeva. Thus he transcended the 3 destinations. Please repeat. He passed his time, which lasted 71 cycles of the 4 ages, 71 into 43 lakh 20,000 years, always thinking of Vāsudeva and always engaged in matters regarding Vāsudeva. Thus he transcended the 3 destinations. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The 3 destinations are meant for persons who are under the control of the 3 modes of material nature. These destinations are sometimes described as the awakened, dreaming and unconscious stages. In Bhagavad Gita, the 3 destinations are described as the destinations of persons in the modes of goodness, passion and ignorance. It is stated in the Gita that those who are in the mode of goodness are promoted to better living conditions in higher planets, And those who are in the mode of passion remain within this material world on the earth or on heavenly planets, but those who are in the modes of ignorance are degraded to an animal life on planets where life is lower than human. But one who is Krishna conscious is above these three modes of material nature. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that anyone who engages in devotional service to the Lord automatically becomes transcendental to the three destinations of material nature and is situated in the Brahmabhuta self-realized stage. Although Svayambhuva Manu, the ruler of this material world, appeared to be absorbed in material happiness, he was neither in the mode of goodness nor in the modes of passion or ignorance, but in the transcendental stage. Therefore, one who fully engages in devotional service is always liberated. Bilumangal Thakur, a great devotee of the Lord, stated, "If I have unflinching devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna, then Mother Liberation is always engaged in my service. The complete perfection of material enjoyment, religion and economic development is at my command. People are after Dharma, the Kama, Moksha. Generally, they perform religious activities to achieve some material gain, and they engage in material activities for sense gratification. After being frustrated in material sense gratification, one wants to be liberated and become one with the absolute truth. These four principles form the transcendental path for the less intelligent. Those who are actually intelligent engage in Krishna consciousness, not caring for these four principles of transcendental method. They at once elevate themselves to the transcendental platform which is above liberation. Liberation is not a very great achievement for a devotee, to say nothing of the results of ritualistic performances in religion, economic development or the materialistic life of sense gratification. Devotees do not care for these. They are situated always on the transcendental platform of the Brahmabhuta stage of self-realization. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyanatamirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is about Svayambhuva Manu's life. It is mentioned here that he lives. What is his lifespan? It is mentioned here, Yuganam Ekasaptatim. He lives for 71 cycles of this Mahayuga. Mahayuga means Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. These four put together, it's called one Mahayuga. And then there are 71 cycles of such time, that is calculated here as 71 into 43,20,000 years. That long Svayambhuva Manu lives. Compared to him, we live maximum of 100 years. So our time is very less, but whereas Svayambhuva Manu has such a long time period and lifespan. So what did he do? Because he has got so much time and is surrounded by so much of opulence and material happiness. So what did he do? Did he simply enjoy in his life, thinking that somehow in the last moment I will say Hare Krishna and then I'll go back to Krishna? Did he had that kind of a thinking? No, he is saying here, Prasange, Vāsudeva Prasangena, Paribhuta Gatitraya. He is always engaged in Prasangena, the matters, the topics connected to Vāsudeva. Svayambhuva Manu did not want to waste even 1 minute without Vāsudeva prasangena. This is life. So, whether one is a gruhastha, brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyas, everybody's only work is Vāsudeva prasangena. The matters connected to Vāsudeva. And then what happened because of his absorption in Vāsudeva like that? Paribhuta gatitraya. He transcended 3 destinations. Three destinations which are imposed by the 3 modes of material nature. So this is a very crucial principle exhibited by Svayambhuva Manu. As a leader of human beings, Manu is the leader of all the human beings. He has set an example by personally practicing. How is that? Vāsudeva prasangena. Always he is absorbed in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so he could transcend these 3 stages. Prabhupada is explaining 3 stages can refer to Jagruti, Sushupta and Swapnavastha. These are the 3 stages imposed by the material modes. They contaminate the consciousness, they contaminate the mind, and because of that we go through these 3 stages. Jagruti means currently the consciousness is very bright, active, that is Jagruti. And then Swapnavastha, the regular sleeping and dreaming. In the dream, consciousness is not so active, but it is there, it is watching what is going on in the dreaming. And then Sushupti means consciousness is suppressed completely, is like an unconscious stage. Sometimes when a person gets admitted in the hospital, in order to do surgery, they may inject a certain anesthesia, some chemical, and then the consciousness gets suppressed. Really doesn't know what happened. It doesn't mean that consciousness is not there. It is only meaning that it is become completely suppressed or dull. So that is the Sushupti, deep sleep. And somebody goes into deep sleep, he is not aware, he is not conscious. Even regular sleeping or dreaming, he will not be. Of course, this is one example from the recent world cricket match, the World Cup, I think T20 or something. I have not seen, I just got news only. And so this is about India and Bangladesh, a very crucial match. And Bangladesh is facing a formidable country. I think that's in the semi-final probably, I don't know. So the vice captain of the Bangladesh team, somehow he missed the bus that reaches the cricket stadium. The bus comes right on time, and then they have very little time, and then suddenly he is not there. The vice captain is not there. And then they were investigating what happened to him. It appears that he slept off in his, what do you call, green room or black room, or I don't know which room it is. somewhere he slept off, and then mostly would have gone into deep sleep, and he has forgotten everything that he has to play a crucial match and a very important country, and then all those things he has forgotten. Looks very ordinary reason, but these forces are very powerful. Consciousness will be controlled by these pollutions of the 3 modes. So, a pure devotee who is Vāsudeva Prasangena, he is not affected by these three stages. Jagruti, Swapnavastha and Sushupti. He is always alert in his service to Krishna. It's an extraordinary stage of consciousness. It is so powerful that this influences of the three modes cannot suppress his Krishna consciousness. Actually, consciousness means Krishna consciousness. Like shine means sunshine. That's all. There's nothing called, shine. You cannot say shine. It's the sunshine. It's like that. Shine is always connected to the sun. It is sunshine. Similarly, consciousness means Krishna consciousness. It is not an independent thing like that. It is always connected to Krishna. But there is a possibility that this consciousness can be suppressed. By the interaction of the three modes, it can get polluted and then we forget Krishna. So this is called conditional stage of life. So, Paribhuta Gatitraya, this is the goal of everyone. A human being should not come under the control of this Gatitraya. There is one more explanation for this, three destinations, and that is if somebody's consciousness comes under the control of Sattva-guna, that means he is very picky about discipline, balance, is eating, sleeping on time, and this and that. He is very picky. Picky means he becomes very sensitive. And then because he is a little free from suffering, he will have a little happy environment inside. And so he becomes very proud that yes, I am sattvic, I am bright, I can see things as they are. So that is called Sattva-guna. Sattva-guna means knowledge. He sees the things as they are. He is not seeing body for enjoyment. He is not seeing some things for his own exploitation. He is seeing things as they are. What's going on there? He will be able to observe like that. So this is Sattva-guna. Udvam gachanti sattvastha. Only such Sattva-guna people. Sattva-guna means one more thing is that he is completely free from sinful life. No intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no meat eating. He is free from these four. So only then, Udvam gachanti, he gets elevated to the heavenly planets. Nowadays you see a lot of religions are focusing on going to heaven. And they are, sometimes they become so fanatical that I want to go to heaven and enjoy the association of the virgin girls in the heaven, and that drives them. They think, okay, here anyway life is like this, but at least let me go to Swargaloka or heaven. There everything looks very attractive. There are Nandana Kanana gardens, and there is a beverage, Somarasa. You can drink as much as you want, it will not intoxicate you. And then there is so much and then availability of so much of enjoyment. And when a conditioned soul gets, when he hears these descriptions, he becomes fascinated. It captures his attention. He thinks, okay, in this life let me sacrifice whatever that is they're asking me to sacrifice, but I have a fascinating life in the next life. So they become so even aggressive to become qualified to enter into heavens. But actually here it is mentioned, only people who are in Sattva-guna can enter the heaven. If somebody is eating, let us say, slaughterhouse meat, no question. He may be following any religion. He may be shouting into the mics so many times in a day, but there's no chance. So this is because Sattva-guna means he must be seeing the things as they are. He should be in knowledge. Next is passion. Passion means lot of ambitions. He has got unlimited desires for enjoyment. And then he will always be scheming and planning. This is next. What should I do? Greed. And then Bhagavad Gita says, greed means grief. Ultimately, greed leads to grief. That's all. Anybody who gets drawn by various desires, ever expanding desires to enjoy this world, he will never be happy. And then he remains. Once he dies, because he has got a lot of ambitions to achieve, he remains here. That is passion. Then ignorance means he breaks the laws of material nature. He breaks the rules and regulations as ordained by the Supreme Lord. And then, because of that, committing sinful activities, he gets degraded to the lower planets, or he even gets into animal species. This is ignorance. So this is called Gatitrayaha. 3 destinations are possible. One can elevate himself to higher planets, or he can remain here in the same middle planet, and then or he can go down. These are the 3 destinations that a human being can choose. But Svayambhuva Manu has not chosen any of these 3. He is not interested in any of these 3. He thinks this heavenly pleasures as Akasha Pushpayate. A pure devotee, he thinks these pleasures, the descriptions are there about these pleasures. When he hears all these things, he thinks these are all Akasha Pushpayate. In the morning time we see some youngsters or some families who come here. Generally they do this collecting of the pushpas. Service, they go with a basket and they go to each plant and they pluck the flowers carefully with devotion, and they brings it to be offered to the deities. So we see that they collect the flowers from the plants. They don't collect from the Akash. From the Akash. Pushpas are not in Akash. They are on the plants. Right? So, Akasha Pushpa means what? Phantasmagoria. That's what Prabhupada translated. It doesn't exist. Flowers don't exist in the sky. They exist on the plant. Any material happiness, it doesn't exist. It exists only in your brain, in your mind. Simply speculation. But one thinks that, it is there. Heaven means he will show in the Akash, no? So it is Akash Pushpa. Actually, there is no reality to this. Then why is it that the Vedas are describing like this and encouraging everybody? Not everybody. It is encouraging people who are fascinated by such descriptions of enjoyment. So he becomes very committed. And then he becomes very obedient to Vedic instructions. So that means he starts his journey of surrendering. Generally, conditioned souls, they don't want to surrender. They don't want to bend their head. Why should I surrender? This is the mood of a conditioned soul. They resist surrenderance. They want freedom, they want independence, they want so many things. But ultimate goal of every jiva is surrendering to Krishna. Now how do you bring him now? Now this person is not wanting to surrender. He simply wants to enjoy his life the way he wants, the way he decides. If that's the kind of mood, from there you have to bring him to complete surrender to Krishna. So there is a step-by-step process, and that is this karma kanda, dharmadha kama moksha. That's the path they take. These dharmic descriptions they'll come to know. If I do this, I get this benefit. If I do this, I offer this prayer, I'll get this benefit. If I go to this God, I get this benefit. Like that. So they become fascinated by those descriptions, and they start surrendering to those descriptions. They surrender to the Vedic authority. This is the goal. And as he goes up and down, he certainly goes to heavenly planets, and then yes, there he will enjoy. But once his kshine punye, once his punya is over, and then again he comes back. He comes back through these rains only. He mixes in the rains, and then again he comes back to this world. And then this world is a karma bhumi, where he has to earn his credits. Then again his journey begins, whether he can elevate himself or he can degrade himself. This is the junction. Gatitrayaha, available to him. All the three destinations are available to him. So like that, repeatedly goes up and down, up and down, up and down. One day he realizes, what am I doing? What is this up and down, up and down? What am I gaining? And slowly he gives up this karma kanda. He gets fascinated by jnana kanda descriptions in the same Vedas. Jnana kanda, the renunciation has been highlighted. They say, oh, this world is miserable, this, that. You have to renounce this world. Previously in the same Vedas he would have read how he can enhance his attachment. Now in the next lines you will see renunciation descriptions are there. So in the Vedas, if somebody goes and sees, apparently he will observe some contradictory statements. That's why you see some people fighting. On the TV channels you will say, you are attached and this and that, they will be attacking. And then you are detached, you are Falgu, Vairagya, and then he will be attacking. Everything will be going on there. And both are present. Vedic literature, both are present. It is meant for a different kind of people. And so slowly jnana, and then he comes to upasana. Then he starts worshipping the deities, sometimes demigods and all that. And finally he comes to Vishnu worship. Vedic path is a very long drawn path. One has to worship certain deities for many lives before he gets promoted to the next deity. And slowly he will come to Vishnu worship. This is the progress. So this dharmadha kama moksha, people who take up this path of dharma, following some Vedic dharma principles, certainly they will get money. Nowadays they don't even want to follow this dharma. They simply want money and enjoyment. So when people don't care for dharma, they run behind money and enjoyment, then comes COVID. And then they will remind everybody that you have to follow dharma. Then you will see immediately everybody becomes very devoted to dharma. This is the issue. Without dharma, there will be a lot of punishments, lot of suffering. So dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. So even if somebody follows, ultimately he gets only the moksha, means general understanding that he gets is merging into the Brahmajyoti, impersonal existence. They don't even want to keep their personal identities. This personality means suffering. Any form, this means suffering. So let me not, I don't want this kind of an existence. I want an existence where everything is peaceful, this, that. No persons to deal with. Because persons mean, again, you have difficulty to deal. Dealings are very difficult. So he wants to nullify personal existence. So this is the kind of disgusted level he comes to, and that is called liberation according to them. But actually, according to Bilomangal Thakur, who is a pure devotee, he says, if I am engaged in unflinching devotion to the lotus feet of Krishna, then mother liberation is always engaged in my service. It's a mother liberation means personification of the liberation. She is waiting outside the door, ready to serve the pure devotee. So, pure devotee is busy in serving Krishna. What is this enjoyment that a pure devotee gets? That is the aspiration of every human being. If we can taste that enjoyment, what is that a pure devotee is tasting? In his service to Krishna, in his service to Vishnu, what is that enjoyment that he is having? If we can taste that, that's all. Even the liberation will become very pale. It will not be attractive. Liberation, moksha, is not attractive to pure devotee. He is attracted only to service, the pure devotional service, unflinching devotional service of the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the goal. So here we are seeing Svayambhuva Manu. So he is apparently engaged in material happiness, enjoying all the opulences. He is in the midst of all this. But how is it that he is a pure devotee? How is it that, although he is enjoying all these things, how he remained a pure devotee? Prabhupada is explaining here, although Swayambhuva Manu, the ruler of this material world, appeared to be absorbed in material happiness, he was neither in the mode of goodness nor in the modes of passion or ignorance, but in the transcendental stage. So people, they enjoy this material happiness either in goodness or passion or ignorance. They enjoy. Ignorance means he enjoys others' suffering. He is a very expert in finding faults and he will enjoy that. One more fault, one more fault. This is ignorance. Passion means he is driven by lust. He wants to enjoy in a certain way. Sattvaguna means he enjoys knowledge, acquiring knowledge. He is fascinated by reading books and wanting to gain more insights into a particular subject, like that. Sattvaguna. Real Sattvaguna means he becomes interested in Brahman, knowledge of Brahman, about the spirit soul, about the spiritual life. This is Sattvaguna. So, when Swayambhuva Manu is in the midst of all these enjoyments and opulences, Shastra, Bhagavatam is saying that he is neither of these modes. When he is enjoying, he is not thinking, oh, this is a nice enjoyment from this object, let me plan more of this. He is not thinking that. He is a pure devotee, doesn't think that matter can give him happiness. He doesn't think. In fact, a pure devotee thinks this highest happiness in matter, which is sex life, he thinks, like Yamunacharya, whenever he thinks of this enjoyment, his lips curves away, and then he feels a kind of a detest in his heart. But nonetheless, we see sometimes pure devotees, they are also in this enjoyment, but their consciousness is different. You will not be able to distinguish activities of a pure devotee or some kind of a karmi. A Vaishnava or a karmi, if you see, activities apparently look the same. Every day morning our devotees, they take a bag, they go for meeting people door to door to explain the message of the Lord. They look like marketing people. And along with that, there may be one more marketing guy with the same suitcase, same thing, and he is also knocking the same door possible. And so, for external person, it appears that both of them are apparently the same. They are in the same situation, similar conditions. What has to be seen is how bright is the consciousness. How bright is the Krishna consciousness. Devotee, he is not thinking in terms the way a materialistic marketing guy thinks. Marketing guy is thinking, I will convert this person into a customer, I will get so and so discount, I will have so much of money this month, then I can go for some extra enjoyment, I can plan one additional destination, whatever he wants to go, and then I will enjoy like this, I will enjoy like that. This is his thinking. Devotee is thinking, okay, somehow I have to preach to him, convince him about devotional service to Krishna, engage him, so that this person can be freed from his karmic reactions, so that he can have some happiness in his life. Devotees are distributing happiness. Other people are distributing misery. He may be giving the latest gadget or machine, that's an additional misery. So this is the difference between these two categories. Devotees are knocking the door to give happiness, but that householder may be thinking, oh, he has come, this is my enemy. Whereas the other person who comes with some big machine, oh, this is nice, but actually he is your enemy. He is going to give you additional misery. You have to manage that machine, repair, paint, this, that, give more money and suffer. This is the situation. So, of course, we are not against such things, but the consciousness should be bright. It should not be this dreamy consciousness or unconscious kind of a situation. One should be very active in Krishna's service, and that's the secret of keeping the consciousness very bright. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.